NMH at 1 brings you the latest news, both local and international, ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports and economic news.
Now here's what you can expect in today's broadcast. Oshakati teacher swindles car buyers of $1 million Namibian. City councillors skate on thin ice. Azaan Madizia admits guilt on legal defeat charge. I am Diana Master.
And I am Aina Koya. This is NMH at 1.
In today's midday news update, brother and sister Azaan Madizia and Stephen Mulundu pleaded guilty to a charge of defeating justice in the High Court today before Judge Christy Liebenberg. The state also filed a complaint of obstruction of justice. The state alleges that in 2020, the defendants buried Shannon Vassafal's body in Walvis Bay. Both Madizia and Mulungu have so far pleaded not guilty to the murder of Vassafal.
Remember to engage with these stories on our social media throughout the broadcast. The visual news coming up after the break.
Active Kids is an initiative under the MyZone brand that aims to provide exciting and easy activities and fun stories. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact zone@synergy.com.na. Active Kids, where we actively invest in your future. Flex is your health and fitness show that focuses on the health of the mind, body and spirit. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact zone@synergy.com.na.
In our visual news this afternoon, McHenry Venani, leader of the Popular Democratic Movement, who lost out on the Paramount Chief seat earlier on Sunday morning, has assured the Ovaherero Traditional Authority that he would not be contesting the outcome of the elections. Jemima Biekes reports.
But after 1863, our people consolidated themselves under one leadership that created the very premise and the foundation of a Herero Paramount Chief. Paramount Chief Maharero was elected unopposed due to his elder brother, Verawa, who submitted that Maharero had the knowledge of rifles and could speak fluent Nama language, and therefore he was able to lead our people. Had it not been for the kind of disunity that is prevailing in our community, I would not have allowed myself to contest. I want to urge our new Paramount Chief, a dear cousin of mine, that be a peacemaker. Go to the nations, go to our people, go to the blind man. There is a blind man next to us. Respect the blind, respect the old, respect the young. Take a hand of peace to our people and unite and consolidate our people. It can be done. Omundu kumunjiraira wahongoro chingundi. Usha chiwanaji chalipa mumagana dia rapa mongwe atulipa. Hapa eteputuli katupa kwa numberipo eteputuli etemba mtu alipa mengatuani zijuanaji. Tukaeto wandu tuwe ulikiro njira kushamatu wangai. Ninakuango kianja mambo minyenga komwasi watatu. Bengo kukurahera kusha. Ouninga ndugu pewa wandu. Odunduke kumbanda yoyo kubenana. Ouninga ndugu pewa wandu watumbe. Omayoba okubenana. Alikanu mwasi watatu lilombara wa wandu. Ulilombara wa hongo.
Business and Intellectual Property Authority CEO Vivian Kashiongwa says Namibia's corporate laws need to be brought up to date to ensure Namibia is competitive and responsive. She made the comments at an international roundtable BIPA is conducting aimed at reforming, among others, the Companies Act. Let's have a look.
The reform that we have before us, therefore, is aimed at improving the ease of doing business in the country and the level of competitiveness where we find ourselves. Further, the amended laws will aim to encourage investments and innovation through an effective and predictable regulatory business environment to attract and solidify the government's efforts towards business development in Namibia. I therefore welcome you all and encourage the engagement that we will have throughout this week. And I really implore the stakeholders to speak freely, because what we are building is for our benefit and also for others who would like to be part of this community.
Events over the weekend rendered the Ovaherero community with a second claimant to the opposition of the paramount chief. This story leads us into the newspaper review segment.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts and experts. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact agenda@synergy.com.na. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Leading us into our newspaper review, on the front page of the Namibian Sun, events over the weekend rendered the Ovaherero community with a second claimant to the position of the paramount chief, in defiance of the old African proverb that says two bulls cannot stay in the same kraal. At Oshimbingwe, Dr. Ode Ruruwako was elected by a section of the Ovaherero Traditional Authority as the new paramount chief, garnering 195 votes. Politicians Mike Kavekotora of the Rally for Democracy and Progress and Popular Democratic Movement leader Makhenri Venani received 33 and 41 votes respectively. The result pits Ruruwako against Professor Mushinde Kashiwa, who was coronated paramount chief last year amid squabbling by rival factions. On the paper's page 3, the Kavango East Education Directorate is battling with an acute shortage of school furniture, with learners who refuse to sit on the floor or a desk bringing their own chairs from home. At exactly 1 p.m. on Friday, the bell had just rung at Ndama Combined School in Rundu, when Namibian Sun observed more than 20 learners carrying plastic chairs back to their homes, while others were walking comfortably without a care in the world because they spent their days sitting on a school-provided chair. Those who were forced to bring their own furniture had to embark on the long journey home.
According to the Republican, Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Khavasab says he no longer has any links to the pharmaceutical company Fabu Farm, which itself has denied allegations that it got a government medical supply contract without formally submitting a bid. Affirmative repositioning politician Job Amupanda last week suggested that the Fabu Farm got a tender valued at 400 million Namibian dollars to provide medical supplies to the Ministry of Health. This is according to Amupanda, without going through the procurement process rather. On page 3, the paper reports that 7 men detained in the Windhoek Central Prison have accused 20 members of the Namibian Correctional Services of armed assault and torture sessions. Each of the defendants is demanding 1.5 million Namibian dollars in damages. In October last year, the men filed a case against the Commissioner General of the NCS, Rafael Hamunyela, the head of the Windhoek Central Prison, Veiko Armas, his deputy Oscar Numa, and the superintendents of the prison and 11 prison guards.
Moving over, the Algemene Zeitung leads with an article about the newest election of the Herero Paramount Chief. This election was conducted in Oshimbingwe by the Senate of the Ova Herero Traditional Authority, and the winner was Hote Ruruako, a nephew of Paramount Chief Kwaimo Ruruako, who passed away in 1994. As could have been expected and was in fact widely expected, this new development is bound to cause conflict among the Herero community, where we saw Professor Mushinde Kashiwa being elected as the new Ombara Oshitambo by a faction last year in July. He was promptly confirmed in that capacity, a development that did not go down well among many, a Senate member of that tribe. On page 2, the paper reports that in order to strengthen expertise and skills on environmentally friendly behavior in all sectors, the Namibian government, with the help of various NGOs, strives for so-called environmental education. A central player in this is the Namibian Network for Environmental Education, which is very close to the Ministry of Environment, and a first agreement is in place already.
We return with more newspaper review after the break.
Africa Good Morning is a current affairs program that brings you the latest from Southern Africa and beyond. News, economics, sport, weather, interviews, and so much more. For any advertising or news-related queries, contact AGM at synergy.com.na. Africa Good Morning, bringing Africa to you.
The Namibian newspaper reports that 14 prospective Namibian car owners allegedly lost about $1 million Namibian to a former Oshakati senior secondary school teacher car dealer last year. The former teacher, James Kapembe, who is now in South Africa, allegedly promised to import second-hand cars from Japan through Botswana, but failed to deliver them to the prospective buyers after receiving deposit payments. On its page 3, the paper reports that Agriculture Minister Carl Schleitwein and Midco Chief Executive Officer Mwilima Mushokombaji are not seeing eye to eye on the performance of the state-owned meat processing and meat marketing entity. Schleitwein maintains that the commercial entity is in a delicate financial position with no improvement seen over the past 3 years. Schleitwein said Midco loans with the Development Bank of Namibia stood at over 437 million Namibian dollars, money which was used to pay off loans from the commercial banks FNB and Bank Windhoek.
Moving over, on the front page of the New Era, Urban and Rural Development Minister Erastus Utoni had subliminally threatened to dissolve the Windhoek Municipal Council should it fail to get its house in order. Currently, the municipality is without a fully constituted management committee and substantive CEO, two key components for the functionality of any local authority. Last week, Utoni summoned the councillors to his office. According to the paper's page 3, the Ministry of Mines and Energy announced that Namibia will be showcasing the country's investment opportunities in the mining sector at the 2023 Invest in Africa Mining Indaba, set for Cape Town, South Africa, from the 6th to the 9th of February. The ministry spokesperson Andreas Simon, in a media advisory issued on Saturday, said that in its 28th year, the event brings together industry leaders, investors, and government representatives to discuss the future of Africa's mining sector.
According to Market Watch, the overall liquidity position of the banking industry increased in December 2022. The industry's cash balance averaged 5.8 billion Namibian dollars in December 2022 relative to the 4.4 billion Namibian dollars recorded in November 2022. Depicting a month-on-month increase of 1.4 billion Namibian dollars according to the Bank of Namibia.
The First National Bank has been named the strongest banking brand. This story coming up in economic news after the break.
AgriMonitor is jou weeklikse landboukundige program wat jou die jongste nuus in die landbouverwante bedryf en onderwerpe wat daaraan gekoppel is bring. Vir enige advertensie of nuusverwante navraag, kontak agrimonitor@synergy.com.na.
Getting straight into our economic news, months after its major brand refresh, new digital interfaces, and a new approach to integrated advice, First National Bank has been named the strongest banking brand in the world in the Brand Finance Banking 500 2023 report. FNB emerged as the leader among the world's 500 largest banks with an impressive brand strength index score of 93 out of 100, and a AAA rating and a brand value of $1.54 billion US. Brand acknowledgement is determined through an independent brand valuation, where scores for independent measures are informed by brand investment, including products, service and innovation, brand equity, functional and emotional drivers, and financial performance data, including current revenue and price premium.
Now we take a look at our economic indicators. One US dollar trades for 70 Namibian dollars at 47 cents. First Rand Namibia Limited stock prices on the Namibian Stock Exchange increased by 0.1%. Oryx Properties Limited increased by 0.1%, while the rest remain unchanged. SBN Holding stock prices now trades at 7 Namibian dollars after a 37% increase in price. Gold, copper and Brent crude oil prices have dropped.
Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has asked his deputy to remain in his position until a transition is finalized. This story and more news from the African continent after the break here on NMH at 1.
In Business 7, you get news on current economic, financial and business matters in Namibia. The weekly show features interviews with experts and in-depth analysis of burning issues in a way that caters for ordinary Namibians and business connoisseurs alike. For news-related or advertising queries, please contact B7 at synergy.com.na.
Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has asked his deputy David Mabuza to remain in his position until a transition is finalized. Mabuza is reported to have told a funeral gathering on Saturday that the president had accepted his resignation and that an announcement on his departure was coming. He said he believed it was logical for him to give way to Paul Mashatile, who was elected in December as a ruling ANC party's deputy president. But the presidency spokesman on Sunday said the president wanted Mabuza to remain until the transition process was finalized. Mashatile is due to be sworn in as an MP on Monday. His entry into parliament will pave the way for the president to name him as the country's deputy president. Ramaphosa is due to deliver his State of the Nation address in Cape Town on Thursday.
The Ethiopian government said on Saturday it was sending about 90 million US dollars to the Tigrayan capital to help restart banking services in the country. Prime Minister Abiy's National Security Advisor Redwan Hussein announced on Twitter that the National Bank has started to send the money to the capital Mekelle for distribution from Monday. Ethiopian Airlines also was planning to increase the number of flights to the region. On Friday, the Prime Minister met for the first time with Tigrayan leaders since a peace agreement was signed in Pretoria in November after a violent conflict between the federal government and the rebels in the northern Ethiopian region. Since the agreement was signed in South African capital, the fighting has stopped and aid deliveries to Tigray have resumed, as the region has long faced severe shortages of food, fuel, cash and medicine. The war, which broke out in November 2020, has displaced more than 2 million people and put hundreds of thousands in near starvation conditions. This is according to the UN.
Stick around after the break. We get into our international news. powerful earthquake has hit a wide area in southeastern Turkey near the Syrian border, killing more than 100 people and trapping many others. The U.S. Geological Survey said the 7.8 magnitude tremor struck at 4:17 a.m. local time at a depth of 17.9 kilometers near the city of Gaziantep. In Turkey, officials confirmed more than 76 deaths so far and 10 cities hit, including Diyarbakir. In Syria, more than 50 people were killed, state media reported. There are fears the death toll will rise sharply in the coming hours. Many buildings have collapsed and rescue teams have been deployed to search for survivors under huge piles of rubble. Turkish Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu said 10 cities were affected. In Malatya province, northeast of Gaziantep, at least 23 people were killed, local officials said. In Sanliurfa, to the east, there were 17 deaths, and more deaths were reported in Diyarbakir and Osmaniye.
The U.S. Navy divers are working to recover the wreckage of the Chinese surveillance balloon that was shot down off the coast of South Carolina. America's former top military officer said he expected it would happen relatively quick so that the experts could begin analyzing its equipment. Fighter jets brought the craft down over U.S. territorial waters on Saturday, and debris spread over a wide area. The U.S. believes the balloons were monitoring sensitive military sites. Its discovery set off a diplomatic crisis, with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken immediately calling off his weekend trip to China. The Chinese authorities denied it was used for spying and insisted it was a weather ship blown astray.
Stick around after the break, we get into our local sports news.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia as we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and oneup2.com, as well as broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Allgemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
Starting off our local sports news this afternoon, the Africat Lions Club is looking to expand its existing sports codes in order to cater for more people in the community. The club announced yesterday that it will now add tennis to its program. We have been in talks with a tennis coach because we plan on having a tennis team in our structures, club leader Dimitri Bittler said.
Winners of the Nedbank Venture Pedal Power Series Dobra Loop said they are pleased with themselves after strong performances at the competition yesterday. Namibian cyclist Dricus Kutsie won the Nedbank Venture Pedal Power Series men category, while Vera Lusa scooped the women's category yesterday morning at the Bragwater Service Road at Karin Park.
Now, the Windhoek Draft Volleyball for All organizers lauded the participants who made the one-day competition worthwhile on Saturday. This after over 200 teams challenged each other for top honors and bragging rights at the DTS Sports Field in Windhoek.
We'll get into our international sports shortly. Manchester City's bid to chop Arsenal's Premier League lead to 2 points was scuppered by Harry Kane's record-breaking goal and Tottenham Hotspur a 1-0 winner over the champions on Sunday. Kane's 15th-minute effort punished some sloppy City passing and made him the North London club's all-time top goal scorer with 267, taking him past the former great Jimmy Greaves, whose record stood since 1970. It was a strike even fans of Tottenham's arms rival Arsenal would have celebrated down the Seven Sister Road as it helped Mikel Arteta's side stay 5 points clear of the champion City despite Saturday's shock loss at Everton.
Now, if you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we will get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after the break.
Flex is your health and fitness show that focuses on the health of the mind, body and spirit. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact zone@synergy.com.na.
You're watching NMH at 1. If you're just joining us, here are your news highlights. President Cyril Ramaphosa has asked his deputy David Mabuza to remain in his position until the transition is finalized. A powerful earthquake has hit a wide area in southeastern Turkey near the Syrian border, killing more than 100 people and trapping many others. In sports, the Africat Lions Club is looking to expand its existing sports codes in order to cater for more people in the community.
Those have been your highlights, but before we close off, NTV turns 1 on Wednesday, the 8th of February 2023. And to celebrate, we are giving away a DSTV Explorer, DSTV Dish Kit, GoTV decoders, and 3,000 Namibian dollars shopping voucher from the Foschini Group. All you have to do is scan the QR code in the printed ads in the Republican, Namibian Sun, or Allgemeine Zeitung newspapers and answer the question provided and stand a chance to win. We'd like to thank our sponsors, DSTV Namibia, GoTV Namibia, and the Foschini Group for the amazing prizes. The competition closes today. Please do remember to tune in every weekday at 1 o'clock to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news in Namibia, Africa, and the rest of the world, ranging from current affairs, economic news, sports, and international headlines. From all of us here in studio, good day.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia as we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and 1up2.com, as well as broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Allgemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.